This is the story of the one. As a lineman, it's his job to keep the power on. That's why he chooses Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Curtis! Curtis, you're, oh no, that's Omari. Omari, you're in the wrong place. You're behind. Yeah, you're next to Marco. Oh my goodness. Wait, guys, these two back 2 rows. Can you look at where you're supposed to be sitting and sit? Toby's correct. Toby is correct. You should be where Omari is. Then Donovan. Then Kai. Next to Donovan. Where's Kai? He's not here? Then wrong. So Marco, you're in the wrong seat. Then Nate. Omari, you're next to Antonio. Marco is next to Omari. And then Lucas. Lucas, you're next to Marco. Okay, guys, good morning. Good morning. Again, these arranged seating, okay, is connected to attendance, okay? So please make sure you're sitting in the right place. Because if you're not, it's hard to figure out who's here when there's a group of people. So make sure you're sitting in the correct seat. Okay? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Did everyone have a wonderful weekend? I know you guys missed us. It's okay. Okay, so this morning we have a talk by a wonderful guest who's going to try to kind of ground you in the importance of education. Okay, so put away your phones, take your headphones off, put away your backup phones, take off your hoods, take off your hats, okay? And plug in, okay? So for this talk this morning, we're going to welcome up Mr. Swartz. Give him a hand.
I ain't gonna lie to you guys. When I was told, or should I say reminded, that I signed up for this, I was a little bit scared. I mean, do I talk honestly down to your level, or do I just do the thing where I put up a presentation with data and information slides talking about stuff you already know? People who have higher levels of education are more successful on average. They make more money. Then I realized something. Why would I say stuff that everyone should already know? No, I'm gonna talk to your level. Mr. Shin, hit the video. Don't worry, I'm not gonna rap.
Skill worth being so unattractive?
Yeah, that's what you expect, right? We have the TikToks and the Family Guy funny moments, and we have the Minecraft falling down videos. I don't know anything about what's going on behind me right now. I just looked up a video that was going to have every single piece of brain rot out there. And why do we call it brain rot, do you think? Well, in actuality, it has more to do with the dopamine spike that hits your head and how you get sort of addicted to the mental stimulation of being constantly bombarded with information. Did anyone ever actually read Fahrenheit 451? I know, I'm the English teacher. It should be my responsibility to do that. Honestly, it just doesn't fit into my curriculum right now. But think about how many people right now are looking at the video behind me instead of the guy talking. And realize that it's not your fault. I want to be clear. You are not the bad guy for that. It's just we are so inundated in our day-to-day lives with a constant bombardment of dopamine-inducing hits that you don't realize that you get kind of addicted to it. Be sincere with me. Who here has ever watched a TikTok and said, this is taking too long, and then moved on? Raise your hand. Seriously? Never? Sorry? Okay. Anir's going to think on it, but we'll come back to him. Have you ever considered how insane that sounds? A 5-second video is too long for you to pay attention to. And this is where I realized what I actually needed to talk about. We can turn hold on. This is the Mr. Plow video is going to come up on the Simpsons thing, and I want to see that. Okay, no, we can turn it off. See, the reason why I'm talking to you guys today is to not remind you that the reason why so many athletes and millionaires go bankrupt because they don't know how to actually handle their money, and why people like Shaquille O'Neal become mega millionaires with multiple PhDs. Because education is not a goal. It's not something where it's like, oh, I'm going to get through high school, and then I'm going to get through college, and then I never need to think again. Education is a lifestyle. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is in Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury, back in 1956, predicted that our attention spans would become so short-sighted that it wouldn't be enough for us to have one TV screen anymore. We would need to have wall-to-wall TV screens surrounding us at all times. Mike Judge said something similar in Idiocracy, but he added advertisements. Now, if you've ever seen like 5 video screens at the same time, then you probably know what's going on here. It's an addictive impulse. Upton Sinclair in 1905, The Jungle. I aimed for their hearts, and I hit them in the stomach. Does anyone know what The Jungle was actually about? It was about the lives of people working in a meat packaging plant and how horrible it was, including individuals who would fall inside of the meat processing process and then get churned and turned into produce. Of course, they would have to throw away that batch. Not at the time. They would do it out of a disservice. That's good meat, can't waste that. Aldous Huxley, 1936, futuristic society where people are constantly bombarded with drugs, rock and roll, partying, and other stuff that I couldn't say in front of a classroom in polite company, but I'm an English teacher, so I'll say it later on in teaching. Keep people not focused, keep them simple, don't have them question things that are going on. I'm saying all of these things because I want to maintain a principle that I sometimes teach while teaching things like 1984 or Animal Farm. Education is important, not because it can make you more successful, which it can, not because it's this anomalous right, which it is. It's important because it's the only thing that gives you mastery over yourself. It doesn't matter what your goal is, or dreams, or aspirations. Education and the skills designed to encourage you to be educated are the one thing that's going to let you be you, and not the byproduct of social engineering algorithms or tech billionaires influencing you for advertising revenue. Am I allowed to reference the Communist Manifesto? Is that off base? Karl Marx references a concept known as market fetishization, which basically refers to the idea that once we're inundated with enough programming and advertising revenue, that we stop perceiving the world in a healthy manner, and we only perceive it as a means of trying to make money. The people you talk to need to make you money. The people you live with need to make you money. If you are a salesperson, you need to make money, and so you must constantly be selling. Does that sound like anything that you ever heard before? Rise and grind. You got to be on that Sigma male grind set, guys. You got to be making money. Look at your friends and tell me, are they profitable to me? Are they part of my social networking group that's going to define my future 401ks? When did this happen? When did we get so socially stratified that we got wrung down and forced into fixing a never-ending hole of emptiness that needs more dopamine, needs more obsession, needs more consumerism? And this comes down to the basics of education. I know, it's weird. It sounds strange to say that that's the connection, but with proper education, you would know and understand who to actually listen to for advice. God forbid it's ever Andrew Tate, please. Why do I say these things? Not because being bombarded by stimuli is actually a negative or something like that, but ask yourself why you're doing something. Because at the heart of education is critical thinking. It's the ability to evaluate what you're doing and where you're going. Why do we go to college? To get a degree so I can get a job. If that's the real reason why you're going to college, then I don't think college is the place for you. It's not about getting education. It's about growing up. It's about learning who you are, what your interests are, and taking singular control over what you want to specialize in. But if you just want a degree so you can get a job, that's just market fetishization with extra steps. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be sincerely honest. Every time I have to fail a student because I caught them using AI writing, a part of me dies inside. And maybe not for the reason you think it is. It's not the dishonesty. It's not the laziness. It's Dante Alighieri of Dante's Inferno fame, the whole reason why we perceive hell the way we do, argues that the entire purpose of existence, the entire purpose of money, the entire purpose of everything is the sole expression of humanity. Why we make art is to express ourselves. So when you willingly sacrifice that because you don't have that critical thinking drive and you just want to see school as a transactional period in your life where it's like, oh, I have to go here, I have to do this to make money, to get grades, to do this and go into the next step. I'm seeing a human being standing in front of me saying that they do not matter. That what they do, what they write, what they think does not matter. And that they would, if they could, replace themselves with somebody else. And that breaks my heart more than anything else. So why does education matter? Yes, it can make you more money. Yes, it can improve your opportunities in life. And yes, it is possibly the most important thing in the entire history of the world. But more than anything else, education matters because it and its lessons can help you become you, to master yourself and not be manipulated or driven into somebody else's ideas. Because we're constantly being assailed by misinformation, grifters, and all sorts of different sources of things. And for a lot of people, they don't know how to discern what is right and what is wrong. I still, every single freshman year, have to introduce grammar. And the biggest problem for me when I'm teaching grammar, besides the fact that it is painfully boring, I will not deny, is trying to teach the concept of pronouns. So I'm just going to say this now while I have the entire school's attention so that in the future, if this question ever comes up, no one has to have an actual argument about this. They and them are singular pronouns and have been since the 1300s. The fact that it is an argument that we're having today is the fact that people do not have the educational skills to understand stronger concepts. They hear lessons they've learned in middle school and stopped trying to learn. And that's the root of almost all of our problems. Stopping with the education. Because you should never stop trying to learn as much as you can. Once you graduate from college and you never read a book ever again, well, you're just going to devolve into what almost everyone else who's done the same things is devolved into. And I don't want to see that for anyone here. So if you want to know the real reason why education matters, then think to yourself and say, who am I? What do I want to be? And what do I want to do? And then maybe you'll come to understand it for yourself too. Thank you.
Okay, let's give Mr. Swartz another round of applause. Okay, a few important announcements before I let you go. So this Friday, sadly, is a half day. I know. Whoa. What? That was unnecessary. Okay, it is a half day, but shh. We will be doing a community service project, okay? The community service project for this weekend is we are going to be in school, so there will be a little more spaces. We're going to be doing letters to the elderly, so cards to the elderly and stuff like that. We have a connection who will deliver it to an old folks home, okay? Now, if you owe hours, seniors, I highly suggest you sign up for this community service, okay? The sign up will be in the office. Mr. Matt Evans will put it out. So please, those of you that need hours, please sign up. If you do not know how many hours you need, seniors, to graduate, please talk to either Ms. Perkins or Mr. Evans also has the file, okay? It's also important, seniors and juniors, to check that file to make sure all your hours that you've already done are accounted for, especially dorm students. Okay, it's important to double check because I know over the last couple weeks there's been a lot of dorm students helping Miss Leah with cooking and stuff. So just make sure that you check those hours, okay? The sign up will be out this afternoon. Please sign up. Also, more heartbreaking news. There will be no school on Monday. So confusing. I don't understand. Whatever. Okay? Yes, Edward. Martin Luther King Day. Yes. What was that? College classes, that's a good question. You should check your college courses. That's a very good question. If you are in a college course on Monday, check to see if you have classes. You may or may not, so that's a good question. Okay? Other than that, any teachers have announcements, school-wide announcements? Okay, that's all I have. So underclassmen, put away your chairs. Upperclassmen, seniors, stay put. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Goodbye.